came to the conclusion that you were ready to go live, right? How did you come to that conclusion, and how did you convince the business that they were ready to go live? Because that's
Yep.
where I think a lot of the pushback comes oftentimes of, hey, we're not ready. IT says we are,
Right.
but we're not ready.
I think it was set up really way back in the project. We had a pretty detailed schedule even when we were starting out or I should say pretty robust timelines. And we were able to develop with the business. We went to them. We had this business integration team. We had 29 business leads across the company, and we developed as a team what were those criteria we needed to have. So it was the normal things like the number of defects, but it was also things like testing. We needed to make sure that all of the testing was completed, and that we did something called end-to-end testing, where we took a business process from the time it went into SAP and went through all the different modules and maybe into one application and back out. That had to be completed properly. We had things like we needed the finance month end and year end. We had all these criteria. And I think really for us to be comfortable with being ready to go, we were really strict in our testing schedule and getting the buy-in from the 350 business users that needed to do UAT, that we were going to be finished in this time, so that we had the time to go through the defects and get them to the number we agreed on for the basically the go live criteria. So really in previous projects, we've had to do a lot more of that. Okay, we have this problem, but is it, do we have enough of a workaround? But we also talked to our board really in advance of go live, instead of waiting until 2 weeks before go live. We talked about this at length. What does that look like? What would our mitigation plans be if this isn't ready or this other thing isn't ready? And I'll be honest, we've never experienced this before. It was 2 weeks before go live, and there were a couple defects we were still working on, but even if we couldn't get them fixed, we knew it wasn't a showstopper. We honestly felt like even if we had 2 more months, there isn't much more we would do to prepare. So I think it really was down to having those items, those tasks that we were going to complete, and making sure they were done. We didn't squish the testing schedule. We didn't do any of that. So we were really ready.